I don't know how normal it is for somebody to have all of their thoughts and opinions audited by thousands of people. I don't know if most people could survive that process. Feelings in this context specifically are the somewhat uncontrollable emotional responses that you have to things. Start and stop. It is not the reactions that you have to things physically, and it is not your actions, okay? If I were to scream at someone because I got upset, and they're like, bro, why are you screaming at me? Why'd you break my phone? And you're like, validate my feelings, I'm upset. You can be upset, but you're not asking for the validation of your feelings of being upset. You're asking for the validation of the actions that you took in response to that feeling. And that is a separate thing.
I asked my therapist if it was too much to ask. Oh wait, no. I asked my fiance if it was too much to ask for me to, for me to ask Steven to acknowledge what's happening to me, because
Max demands everyone's consideration, but never concedes to anyone, ever. Lavamork is cringe. Let's move past it.
I wanted Steven to validate my feelings because it made the comments less real. It made, if Steven, the lord, the leader of his troop, were to invalidate all these things saying I was a monster, their god, then maybe I wasn't. And he wouldn't.
Your destiny.
And then he would.
But last spell did a save wipe. Cool. Will you play after you were done with Factorio?
Maybe.
He edged me. He'd say it in in little off one-offs, a lot of this is happening because you are difficult, and obviously because you're a woman. And I'd be like, oh, okay, or he'd say just things like that were slightly validating, but then he'd suck it up just as fast. And then on stream the other day he was like, I don't know, he got so mad at me he said I was talking shit about him and his community, and perhaps I was, but I didn't see it like that.
Okay. Based.
I was expressing my feelings.
Based! Who? Quick life hack. Have a really shitty action or thing you want to express or you want to do. Always start the sentence with, this is how I feel. Absolved of all guilt. Boom, 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 boom. Quick life hack.
I don't think that those should be policed. They don't necessarily have to be true. Right? I don't expect anyone to be like, yes, everything you feel is correct. But shouldn't we acknowledge it? I'm not upset that Steven called me an abuser. Or I'm not mad at him, I should say. I am upset with it.
What's the difference?
I'm sad about it.
The waves pushed me in and they washed me away.
Based.
But if he sees me that way, I can't tell him that's wrong. I can only introspect and explicate my actions, rewatch the VOD.
Wait, when do I launch this rocket? Oh no.
He talks a lot about my baby voice.
I don't even think I've thought about that.
How manipulative it is. Unconsciously, I'm sure it was. Someone called it a 1 HP voice, which I thought was
If in the
funny.
future I was trained on your preferences, and I can consume far more info on a subject, would you trust it to vote on that
I was
subject
showing
for
my
you?
belly. I was saying, please.
I don't know.
Steven, I'm not a threat. Please, I'm not a threat. Look, it's me. It's me, Lav. I'm not a threat, please.
This is 400.
Max says the same thing. I'm starting to... It's either me and Max have the exact same mental illness or we're right. Hopefully we're right.
This is not the right.
But he made me... Steven made me feel really bad for having feelings, which is... not what
How
you
close
want
to you being
in a
done with this
friend.
god-awful game?
But-
Ask your mom.
I understand.
Okay, boom, boom.
For whatever reason, he didn't want to take care of my emotions. And that is valid. He doesn't have to. It sucks. Sucks even more that...
Hey, babe! I love you and want to hold you. I'm a threat.
Okay, meeting Dennis.
It was like, please, Steven, be a little more cautious. He called me an abuser to thousands of people.
How do I figure this one out?
So now, what do I do? What is there to do?
Oh, hold on. We can do this. Hold on. Okay. Right now we have no launch trigger for
Max
this. Okay. Let's launch here.
Has shown the past week to be a great colleague and an even better friend to me.
Right.
So I know that there are content creators who do want to see the best in me and have the patience to handle my neuroses.
For the record, her problem and Max's problem are not the same. And also for the record, Max is not capable of handling Lav, and nothing was more evident than that by the fact that the very first conversation they had Max like labeling her as like somebody posting nudes or whatever of minors, or somebody posting sexually content about minors that he like banned her from his server for, and then like refusing, I think, to ever have a conversation with her again, and then claiming all of the initial conversations were just so she could restart her OnlyFans. That was Max's initial actions with Lav, but a lot of people are very recent biased. They don't remember any of their initial interactions, which I think is kind of funny, but...
Extended period of time, I will argue that Steven did for a while.
Okay.
More than maybe he should have. But I don't want to self-abandon too much.
Oh no. This is a red signal. It's getting information from...
So that's an ally. And I really respect him and his work.
It sees 100.
There are other people who want to talk to me about feminism and...
How? What is it seeing the 100 from?
Womanhood. And gender and... philosophy and...
Because there's probably cargo rocket sections in this, I bet. That's why. Fuck. How do I empty?
But then so many people have told me that I'm so stupid.
How do I empty this?
That it's embarrassing to think that I should have a voice.
Oh god. Oh wait. No. One of these should just be for cargo rocket sections.
Or then I'm like, fuck.
And I disconnect it from the circuit network. That's what I should do.
I just shouldn't be here. And Appa sort of said something like that when I was on stream. He was like, why even have a platform? Part of me thinks that it's really beautiful to learn in real time. And the other part of me is embarrassed that I'm filming my fuck-ups in a way that nobody else that I know does. I don't know, I think that there's beauty in it though. So I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm angry. And I'm really frustrated. And I'm very anxious. I'm anxious that I'm missing something. In my brain, I'm like, how can I not see my... I'm explicating every interaction I've had with Steven. How am I abusive? What have I done that's abusive? And I'm coming up short. I'll have a one-on-one talk with him. I think I'm gonna give that
Doggos.
Relationship a bit of a rest for a moment, a couple days. I don't want to emotionally unload on him. So I need to gather my thoughts.
I will put this many accumulators down. I will not make nuclear power.
I know in the grand scheme of things this feels very little. If you look big picture, I still have a very beautiful life.
Honest question, why do you think Lab is such a mental block about why people view her, flip-flops the way they do? Like if she was actually aware of how volatile her opinions were, the sensible thing would be to carry yourself with a sense of humility and just not have the degree of authoritative judgment she does. She writes back on this post hoc, like, what do you want me to say? I don't know, there's a lot to consider. I don't know if many people, this is something I kind of think, it's hard to, these are highly speculative areas. I can't appeal to any psych research. And my anecdotes are limited, obviously, because I'm a quasi-celebrity. I don't know how normal it is for somebody to have all of their thoughts and opinions audited by thousands of people. I don't know if most people could survive that process. It might be the case that, man, forever ago I read something called The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, or the Universe? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe? And there was something can quote me wrong, it's been so long since I've read these books. There was a torture machine in there called like the Total Perspective Drive or something. And the idea was that if you put somebody in that machine and then you showed them their size compared to like the relevant galaxy, that it would like fry their brain because they would realize like how insignificant they were. And it was like, oh my God, I'm like nothing or whatever. Is this, am I right or am I making this up? And I kind of wonder sometimes if streaming might be similar, where it's like, I don't know how many people could actually psychologically handle having all of your thoughts audited this hardcore by so many people that are so like adversarial to you. That might just be like an experience that like a normal human being just can't process. Maybe it's possible. And she's experiencing that in like one of the worst ways, maybe. What does feeling valid even mean? I hear it used so much and so often as a way to try to legitimize the feelings or make them seem correct. Validity doesn't mean shit in almost anything, and doubly as much so for emotions as every I'm trying to read your sentence, dude. I'm sorry. Let me try again. Validity doesn't mean shit in almost anything, and doubly as much so for emotions as every emotion is valid. Validity doesn't mean shit in almost anything, and doubly as much so for emotions, as every emotion is valid. Is it just weaponizing terminology? If so, why do people who are so concerned with everyone else being manipulative never look inwards and realize they're doing it too? So I think that the statement, okay, so here's like, not even with BPD, we don't have to worry about that. So one issue that people have is sometimes people won't accept the way that they feel about something. They either blame themselves too much or they try to invalidate the feelings that they have about something. And that inability to accept the way that you feel about something inhibits your ability to fix the problem, right? So maybe this comes out in the form of like, I don't care what my parents think about me. I don't even care if my parents never talk to me again. I don't have any problems with the way they treated me in life. But like, if you have this type of outlook on things, it's obviously, okay, bruv, you guys have problems. And if you don't accept those, if you don't accept the validity that you have feelings, they're valid, accept those, you can't begin to process or work through those because you're gonna spend your whole life pretending they don't exist, right? So when people say like your feelings are valid, that's supposed to be what that means. But the problem is language is so complicated. Feelings in this context specifically are the somewhat uncontrollable emotional responses that you have to things. Start and stop. It is not the reactions that you have to things physically, and it is not your actions, okay? If I were to scream at someone because I got upset, and they're like, bro, why are you screaming at me? Why'd you break my phone? And you're like, validate my feelings, I'm upset. You can be upset, but you're not asking for the validation of your feelings of being upset. You're asking for the validation of the actions that you took in response to that feeling. And that is a separate thing. All of your reactions or your actions in relation to your feelings are not valid and are not okay. That's not true. We might not have direct access to our emotional responses, but we do have direct access to how we respond to things. And those are the things that you should seek to fix. So you see like a lot of like, I don't know if Mr. Girl does this as much. Lab does this a lot. Anna did this a lot. This idea of like, this is my feeling. Like, just let me talk about how I'm feeling. Your feeling is not a chance for you to make observations around the world and it's not an opportunity for you to justify your actions. Like, your feeling is an emotional something. It doesn't say like, my feelings are valid and I feel like you're a fucking piece of shit. That's not a feeling. That's not what we're talking about when we say your feelings are valid. Or like, I just broke the wall. I punched 2 holes in it. Why? Because my feelings are valid and I felt angry. You can feel angry. You don't have to punch the fucking wall. You can feel bad, but how you feel about a thing is a descriptive observation of something. That's not a personal feeling. That's a statement of fact. You can't use I feel statements to make statements of fact or to justify bad actions, okay? This is kind of what I go when I talk about like the weaponizing psych terms. A lot of people are like misunderstand what a feeling being valid means or what an I feel statement is. People seem to think that like feelings being valid means that you have the right to respond in any way to how you want to a situation. And that's just not the case. It's not true.
Very good friends. An incredible partner. But this feels, like I said earlier, like that wound, that mom wound. And so it's overtaken my life. And I'm just picking the scab. This is my favorite wound to pick at. Will not heal. Can you be mentally ill and in this space? Do I have the opportunity to grow here? Certainly.
Are you sure these cameras are fully charged into the night? Oh yeah, they are. They are, Rodney's.
Yes.
You can see it right now almost. They're almost fully charged right now.
Yes.
I will build enough accumulators. I will do this. I will overcome the night.
A couple people are telling me to like just log off. Like just stop streaming for my mental health. Which makes me so mad. I'm like, baby, I've been online for 8 years. This mental stuff ain't going nowhere. Let me read you. Everyone keeps calling me a narcissist, and I had a panic attack with my therapist the other day.
I don't want to invalidate anybody else's experiences, but as I talk to more and more people, I really am curious what people mean when they say that. Like, I had a panic attack with somebody. What does that actually mean? Because I'm starting to feel like it doesn't mean the same thing to all people. I'm really curious what that means when people say that, but I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to try to say that it's like fake or whatever, but I mean, I'm sure she does have panic attacks, but...
I'm a narcissist. I think I'm a narcissist. My mom was a narcissist. Narcissistic injury.
Can you contrast this with how you assess somebody's mental state? For instance, when you make a claim that somebody is being abusive, would you say you have zero emotional stake in that assessment, / it's purely based on logic? So for my statements relating to like Max and Lav, I'd have to go back and check, but like, I'm trying to think of specifically in regards to that. When I feel like somebody is leveraging what appears to be a vulnerable emotional state to make scathing indictments of my character that's when I start to feel like I'm being manipulated. Does that make sense? So for instance, if let's say that like Lav or Mr. Girl came on and they were just crying and Lav's just like, I'm just so upset. Like I'm so upset about everything, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, that's fine. I don't think that's manipulative. Or if like they come on and Lav is like, I'm just so upset. Like I just don't like, I feel like you make me feel this way, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, I don't think that's manipulative. But if somebody comes on like, I'm so upset. Can't you see that the way that you function is in an incredibly abusive manner in which you're taking advantage of me and you're actually doing all of these horrible things that you're just not even understanding, and I don't think you actually have, like, hold on, Jesus, wait a second. So you're leveraging your emotional state. You're very emotional and you're fighting me from that state where you're starting to make a whole bunch of claims about things that I disagree with. And I feel like my hands are tied. I don't, because I don't give a but a normal human being will feel like, well, you're like crying right now. I don't know if I can actually like argue back with you. That's what I consider to be like, I could say emotionally manipulative, since abusive is like triggering to some people. But yeah, when people are making big claims about your character that you disagree with, or they're making demands for you to change from that emotional state, that starts to feel abusive / manipulative to me, in my opinion.
Also known as narcissistic wound or wounded ego, or emotional traumas that overwhelm an individual's defense mechanisms and devastate their pride and self-worth. In some cases, hold on, let me put this up on the screen actually. In some cases, shame or disgrace is so significant that the individual can never truly feel good about who they are, and this is sometimes referred to as a narcissistic scar. A narcissistic injury will sometimes not be noticeable at first sight. Narcissistic injuries or narcissistic wounds are likely a result of criticism, loss, or even a sense of abandonment. Those diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder will come...
And so this isn't always bad, but this is like, in my opinion, like one of the biggest red flags is when people start like opening Wikipedia and then trying to read things to ascertain their mental state or their well-being. That's like a really, really, really scary thing to me. Like you're putting yourself in a really dangerous area, in my opinion.
Come off as excessively defensive when attacking, when facing any sort of criticism, while the average person would likely react by expressing vulnerability. A person dealing with narcissistic wound will do the opposite, causing them to come off as narcissistic despite feeling hurt inside. The reaction of a narcissistic injury is a cover-up for the real feelings of one who faces the problem. To others, a narcissistic injury may seem as if the person is gaslighting or turning the issue back onto the other person. A person may come off as manipulative and aggressive because they refuse to accept anything they are told that they do not want to hear. It is important for those dealing with narcissistic wounds to make it clear to those who they attack with their words.
How do you avoid getting called a gaslighter if you disagree with someone's feelings about a situation? You just have to be careful about the language game being played, that you understand what their feelings are. When somebody says, I feel upset because of what you said to me, that's different than, I feel like you are treating me like shit with all the horrible things you do to me. One of those is an I feel statement. You're saying, this is the way that I feel in response to the things you do. And the other is like using an I feel statement to make a declaration about your behavior. They sound a little similar, but they're completely different things. They're two totally different things.
That it is indeed a disorder rather than an insult towards the other person. Children who are taught that failure leads to less love and affection are more likely to become obsessed with perfection and furthermore are more likely to develop narcissistic personality disorder. The importance of self-love and unconditional love need to be stressed when raising children to show them that their
What danger are you referring to? Wait, what danger?
feelings are always valid, no matter the situation, or how well or poorly they perform, which I think this is why this is so important to me and Max's radical acceptance, is because it's a correction to something like that. Object relations theory highlights rage against early environmental failures that left patients feeling bad about themselves when childhood omnipotence was too abruptly challenged. 1. Becoming defensive.
Oh, okay.
When a narcissist's feelings are hurt, they are likely to react with hostility and tend to hold grudges. This is due to having a poor understanding of the emotional responses towards others. Definitely not me. I don't know what the word grudge means. Right after a conversation, I'm like, okay. With like a rubber band. They lack empathy when hurting others' feelings due to their thought processing. They do not like confrontation. It is their high ego that needs to be fulfilled, but deep down the cause of it is due to insecurities with themselves. When narcissists wants are challenged, they can act out.
Wait, where's Cake at? Are we using all of the new SJW approved terms for 20 whatever for our project? If I go through my site's code, it should be allow list and deny list. We don't use a white list or black list anymore. I hope he knows that.
Through anger, this can stem from experiences of abuse, so they project their internalized trauma onto others. They lack self-confidence, which projects onto relationships. Jealousy, withdrawal can trigger an emotional reaction when narcissist experiences a major setback. All of this. I'm proving to you guys I'm not a narcissist, but that I have a wound. Which isn't victimizing myself, I'm just trying to explain some things. Because Stephen kept saying, I know too many psych terms. Well, yeah, I've been in therapy since I was 6.
Which is a really good argument for therapists not using psych terms for the people that they're therapying.
So, this is how I speak. This is how my brain works. I've been brainwashed by the therapists. What is this? Narcissistic mortification is the primitive terror of self-dissolution, triggered by the sudden exposure of one's sense of a defective self. It is death by embarrassment. When narcissistic mortification...
I'm running out of energy on my home planet?
...may be defined as a sudden loss of control over external or internal reality or both. This produces strong emotions of terror at the same time. Narcissistic libido, also known as ego libido, is built up.
Hello? Morning?
Narcissistic mortification can be internal, occurs when an individual is overstimulated by their emotions. For example, while debating with classmates on the importance of stem cell research, an outspoken student loses temper, causing uproar. This student has just exhibited an overstimulation of his emotions and used this outburst to relieve internal tension.
Did somebody say stimming?
I don't think I do that. My therapist doesn't think I'm a narcissist. Every second of every day, I'm convincing myself that I am, though. I just told this to someone on stream, Elder Drazi, but I'm so afraid of becoming my mother. It keeps me up at night. Literally, it's 2 a.m. right now. My mom, like I said earlier in the story, used to laugh at me when I cried. We'd be arguing and she'd laugh. Like, you're so stupid. Something like that. Or just laugh at me. To posture herself above me, I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Okay.
About 4 years ago, I had a best friend, his name was Alejandro, and we got into a lot of fights because we were both very messy in our apartment. We lived together. We were both very messy, but neither of us wanted to admit that we were messy. So chaos ensued. And one time he got really emotional during a fight because we were very close and very emotionally fused to each other, very codependent. He had started to cry, and I laughed at him. And as I laughed, I covered my mouth, and I was just possessed by my mother. And it made me nauseous. I immediately stopped. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And then I start crying. Talk about victimization. Saying that people are victimizing themselves is so funny. My therapist won't let me use that word because I'm always like, oh, I'm just victimizing myself. She's like, no, you feel like something bad happened to you. Something bad happened to you. And I'm like, no, I can't feel it. I'm just victimizing myself. So stop saying that to people. I will try to stop. You should try to stop also. Watcher, viewer. Oftentimes people who victimize themselves do desperately feel like something is really hurting them. Even if it's not based in reality, in our reality, it's their reality. And their reality is oftentimes, you're not going to do any damage by validating someone's feelings. You're never going to do damage by validating someone's feelings, ever. Ever. Even if you're like, I don't really see it that way, but I can appreciate that you feel that way, and I will be more open. Or I will
10
be
more minutes, guys.
Perceptive of things I can do to mitigate that for you. And then actually doing it. Not just placating them, but actually. I think humanizing each other is really important that way. Because who's to say what the real reality is?
Wow.
Perception is so individualistic. Maybe I'm losing you here in this conversation. Sorry. I forgot where I was, but I'm okay. I hope I am not psychologically abusive. I will try not to be. I will try to be very aware of that perception of me without driving myself insane.
Stack inserters can't do unique items in stacks, I'm guessing? Doesn't look like it.
I think empathy is really important.
Wait, is there a chance that I don't have enough cargo rocket stack? No shot, dude. How?
It's really important. Maybe not for some people. Maybe a baseline for everyone.
Wait, how many rocket sections land with a rocket? I brought 48. And I only have 58? Don't most of them survive the...
I think it's why I do so much better in, this is something, actually, I was about to say this is why I think I do so much better in one-on-one conversations.
Oh, they emptied. Oh, I'm so stupid.
Conversations where someone isn't fucking yelling at me.
I'm losing it, dude.
And I had a conversation last night with Elder Drazi, and he was like, I've never really seen you in a conversation where people weren't all fucking yelling at you or on your case. And it's true, I often find myself in 3v1s. And I don't know if people don't realize that that's not the best place to foster understanding. When multiple people are take accountability, you're the most awful person in the world, you're fucking stupid, you're aggressive. And of course my response is okay, sorry. Because
that's not her response. And why is she even joining those convos?
Fuck, I'm so stupid. I will never do that again. I'm so retarded. You gotta start somewhere. And if for me it's oh hee hee. Okay, fuck. Okay, I did do that. Okay. Sorry, I was emotional.
Fuck, I can't
If that's where I fucking start, be honest with yourselves. That is heaps above where the fucking general population is in taking accountability. Come on. Come on. I asked Steven to take maybe a bit more responsibility with how his audience treated me or moderating the subreddit or something, and he was like, I'm doing everything I can, bye. Don't want to fucking hear it.
Based! Steven!
So suddenly I'm having to take 100% accountability for everything and change immediately. What kind of expectation is that? Maybe I haven't done a good enough job of humanizing myself. I came into the game smug as armor because I felt silly. I felt like I was wearing clown shoes on stream. I was like, here I am, everyone's serious here, and I'm just a baby. I'm just a girl with some thoughts. I don't even have them all fleshed out yet. So I got aggressive, which was not the right call. Was not the right call. And so now I'm having to sit with that and undo the damage. I saw this, which was really funny. And I do read a lot of my criticism because I have a hard time perceiving myself.
We all do.
It says lav sowing, devil face smiling, lav reaping, baby emoji.
Based, true.
Yeah. This is the human experience, right?
Did she say sowing?
Everything I said to Madame Genevieve was accurate. But I could have humanized her, and I didn't. I am harder on women because I think that we should be smarter. We should educate ourselves more than, you know.
Okay, when I land...
We should educate ourselves.
Nice.
We should be smarter than everyone around us, smarter than every man, more powerful. That's my own personal bias. And it makes me treat people poorly because I have such high expectations for myself and for women, which is not fair. Now I have to sit with it because that's how I came in. People do not like me. That's okay. I can handle it. Wouldn't be the first time. I'm an acquired taste. Some people do not have the patience to bear with me, and I do not blame them. But here I am, trying to be okay with reaping what I sow.
It's gotta be a meme that she's saying that, right?
It sucks. I'll be honest, it sucks. It's not very fun. I would have loved for everyone to love me. I think that would have felt really good. I would have loved to have been right about everything, to have been clear on all my stances, to enter the debate sphere and dethrone Steven, steal all of his viewers, become the top debater. Just kidding. That was never my dream. But I would have, if I could change one thing, it would probably be that people liked me. Or at least hated me a bit less. Maybe it's just a matter of time. Maybe they still think that I'm this smug, aggressive person that I portrayed. I don't think I'm that person. I certainly wore it as armor. Not a good call, again, but it is what it is. It hurts me too bad to argue with Steven right now, so I think I will stop doing it. But the bridge is not burned. The bridge is being reconstructed. Just different bridge now. I don't want to be a debater.
Okay.
Or at least not an aggressive debater. I don't know. We'll see. I'm finding out what the fuck I want. I might just end up doing fucking homework streams. My doula school homework streams. Pregnancy research. You guys would fucking hate that though. But anyway. That's it. Thanks for listening to me. I don't even know what the fuck I said in this video. I hope nothing gets fucking clipped and taken out of context, but this is how I'm feeling. This is how I'm feeling right now. If you guys want to know where I'm at, this is how I'm feeling. For those who watch me and don't hate watch me and watch me because they see themselves in me or they like me, I love you. And I appreciate you a lot. And
okay, we're getting close, guys. I can feel it.
We're learning together. Good night.
Good night, buddy. Okay. This is gonna launch on green signal full. Okay, all right. We've got these guys in here. It's doing its thing here. Okay. Should be enough in here to fill this up. Okay. Let's go. Okay. As long as it's full and I'm getting a black signal from home, which I am not. Oh, because we've got 13K iridite at home. Why is that? Do I really? That must be wrong. Wait, what's happening? No. Oh no, it is outputting that signal. Okay, wait, hold on. Oh no, I was looking at the wrong circuit network or something. Okay. Okay. They should launch as soon as this fills. Please. Please, just launch once it's full. That's all I need. Oh, actually, you know what? I bet I ran out of power. Fuck me. Okay. What happened to Wes? I don't know. Go ask Wes. Okay, please. Hold on. I just need this. I just need to fill up and launch. That's all I need. That's all I need. All right, well, we're waiting for this planet to mine shit. Oh, these are some of the responses that he was posting in that thread. For those that missed it, this is the post in question, a declaration of war. Here are all the bits along with some highlights that are mostly about how people are too dumb to understand social supporters / were the only ones smart enough and now they're banned. Okay. Do I want to read this whole thing? Jesus. Okay. A declaration of war. I, Mr. Girl, lone warrior, wearer of no crown, commander of no army, declare war on DGG. Steven has allowed his subreddit to become corrupt. The mods represent the exact opposite of Steven's own values, and the people have failed to rise up. What is our destiny? Is it a place for honest discussion? Not really. Disagreeing with Steven or even agreeing with me when Steven is not involved can get you banned. By their own admission, mods can ban for any reason based on their mood. Members of r/destiny have absolutely no protection or even the appearance of a right to expression within limits. Essentially, it's an intellectual minefield with a heavy chill on all criticism of Steven, which is actually more totalitarian and dishonest than simply stating you're not allowed to criticize Steven or agree with Mr. Girl. The sub has the outward appearance of being a place for discussion, like a fake North Korean grocery store with pictures of food in the windows. The subreddit is turned on me. The top post now is a screenshot of ABBA gloating. Sorry, hold on. Break time. Okay.